So you thought that Mexico only had beaches and resorts. Not so fast.
What a lie.
Several of the highest mountains in all of North America are in central Mexico and are over 3,000 feet higher than the highest mountains in the continental US. Puebla, Mexico is the country's 5th biggest city, where I lived for 4 months this past year. Teaching remotely due to COVID has its advantages. At 7,000 feet high, Puebla is the perfect base for Mexico's highest peaks. From all parts of town, Popo and Itza dominate the horizon, and the biggest peak in the country, Pico de Orizaba, is only a 2-hour drive. Through a good friend from Puebla, I got introduced to Eduardo and Eugenio.
Thank you, Majo, for letting me stay here in Puebla, which is located next to many of the big peaks here in Mexico.
She told me that these two guys love the mountains and love traveling, and that I had to meet them. The three of us became great buddies, getting out for runs and hikes during my first week or two in town.
Another beautiful morning, llegando aquí en el Mirador Cristo Rey.
Eduardo would always tell me I can get up to 17,000 feet on any given weekend. He's right. And this makes Puebla an ideal base for mountaineers. For our first challenge, Eduardo, Eugenio, and I headed out to hike up Iztaccíhuatl. Given that Popo has been closed for years due to it constantly erupting, Izta, as the locals call it, is the second highest climbable peak in all of Mexico.
Puma, buenos días. Yeah. ¿Quién que iba a pasar ahí?
Sí.
Solo Lalo en su jeep. Mira la puma que va corriendo atrás de las vacas. Pues ya vamos llegando aquí a los 14,500 pies, so we're almost here to 14,500 feet, which is where we're going to get up to with the Jeep Rubicon that Eduardo has all souped up so it can handle the alta montaña aquí con Eugenio y Eduardo, y pues el perro que es más fit que nosotros, mucho más fuerte.
Claro.
Se nota. With this dog that's running ahead that's stronger than us. Gracias a Dios. Thank God we have a Jeep to get up here. Any normal car would be destroyed by this point, so. Oh, banana pancakes before we get started. Cannot say no to that. Oh. All right, 8:40 getting started here. Already at 14,500 feet. Higher than any peak in the continental US. And we are just beginning. So far so good, just trying to keep up with Puma. That's probably gonna do 3 times as much distance as us today. Running all over the place. Vamos, Puma.
¿Cómo vamos, Brian?
Todo bien, gracias a Dios. Bien acompañado. Y Lalo, ¿cómo estás tú?
¿Todo bien?
Qué bueno.
Contento de que vienes muy bien.
Gracias. All right, getting up towards 16,000 feet here. Making our way up. Slowly but surely, got a good pace going. I'm just following the steps of Eugenio, siguiendo los pasitos. Nice to have someone to follow on the way up that knows the route. Both of them know the route super well, so far so good. It's just super volcanic here. Forget it about water sources, greenery, lakes, anything like that. I mean, it's just another world when you're up here in the big volcanoes in Mexico. We're at like 16,700 feet right now, so we are getting up there, feeling a little bit of the altitude. But yeah, just taking it nice and steady here. I'm glad that both of them have been up here dozens of times. Come, Puma, come. ¿Y cómo te sientes, Eduardo?
Muy bien.
¿Bien? ¿Todo bien?
Un
100%?
poco cansado de las piernas,
Sí,
de la bicicleta ayer.
pero de la cabeza y respiración, ¿todo bien?
No, eso muy bien.
Sí.
Nopales enchilados. Nopales enchilados.
All right, so I think that Eduardo's got a few different snacks that I don't necessarily bring into the mountains here. So I got my granola and M&Ms like usual, trail mix. Eduardo, what'd you bring?
Nopales enchilados.
Chili nopales.
Chili nopales.
Picante. So if you don't know, nopales are cactus, right? So it's like the prickly pear cactus. Obviously they take the spines off them, but I don't think you can find a more Mexicano snack to bring up than nopales picantes, especially for mountain fuel. Not what I would have guessed, but definitely fun to see. So they're spicy, right? Spicy nopales?
Picante. Mexican snack.
Mexican snacks, are they good?
Yeah.
Haven't tried these before. Let's see how they are. Nopales enchilados, dried nopale cactus.
How is it?
They're good. They're not that spicy. No, they're pretty tasty.
Not
now. Not now. Maybe later.
Wait 30 seconds.
No, they're pretty good. Really glad there's no people behind us here as we're sending all kinds of stuff down. It's super steep. Puma's up above. setting down rocks. Woo! And there's all kinds of stuff flying down here, so trying to give them a little bit more room than usual so nothing hits me. I won't lie, that part back there was pretty brutal. It's just so loose, everything just falling out from underneath you. Every step you take forward, you take 3/4 of a step back, and you feel like you're making no progress whatsoever. You're sending tons of stuff flying down. So we are up above 17,000 feet. It's fun being the weak link today. Usually I'm out in front, but given they know the route, they're more acclimated to the altitude, and they're strong on this volcanic stuff. I'm definitely pulling up the rear, but not too far behind, so.
The summit.
All right, making it up. Muy bien. Muy bien, eh? Muy bien.
Bien, congratulations.
Gracias. Woohoo!
Muy enchilado.
Muy enchilado. Some more spicy dried fruit. So we are up at 17,200 feet here up on the summit of Izta.
La compañía.
Mira,
O sea, en solitario.
mira la mano.
Es
muy buena compañía.
Modales, ¿eh?
So me suffering getting up here. And Puma probably doing 3 times the distance.
Es lo último. Ya.
Makes it look easy. Feel like I'm out of shape compared to Puma here. Making us look bad. All right, time to make our way here around the rim of the crater to the other couple of summits that are here kind of on this loop that we're gonna make. Just spectacular up here. You can see the glacier down below us. Puma's getting a ride here across the glacier because it's really sharp. Can cut open his paws, so Eduardo's giving him a lift here for a few hundred yards until we get across all these spiky points in the glacier and get down back to the volcanic sand once again. Ah, Puma, what a life. What a life, Puma. Getting the special treatment. Hi, Puma. Puma. Vente, Puma. All right, getting close to the true summit here of Izta. This one is just a few meters higher than where we were back there. Dun, 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 on the true summit. Oh, once again up at 17,200 feet with Puma leading the way.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Eso. Muy bien, eso, gracias. Gracias.
Bien, Brian.
Gracias, Lalo.
You're doing well, man.
Thanks. Only been above 17,000 feet maybe twice, 3 times, so
Yeah.
not that many times. Feels different.
Yeah.
Feels different than 13 or 14,000 for sure, so glad to make it. Be feeling good. La cabeza, head's feeling good. Legs are good. Breathing's good, so everything is going well. All right, 3rd high point of the day. Making our way around the rim here of Izta. So in California and Colorado, we always talk about the 14ers, but there's definitely less oxygen when you're up here, 16 and 17,000 feet for sure. These guys live in a Puebla. Really good spot to live when you can be up at 16, 17,000 feet every weekend or every other weekend if you want. If you're gonna do bigger peaks like Aconcagua or Kilimanjaro and things like that, they don't need to acclimate nearly as long as I do or people that come from the US. So pretty cool advantage of living here. You can see some of these crevasses here that have opened up as the glacier kind of recedes. Oh man, it's faster going down, but this stuff is just so loose. I'm trying not to knock stuff on them. Glad we got our helmets here, and yeah, it's definitely the hardest part here. Ooh, so we made it back down off of the really hard part up there. You can see that ridge, just super loose, like not much to really catch yourself. If you start sliding, you are going. So, I mean, I think all 3 of us have pretty good balance, but that was a pretty good test to see how your balance is doing. Now we're back down to where we took our little snack break in the morning.
Nopales enchilados. 30 seconds.
Oh, pretty good. We're going down a different way that's slightly longer than we came up, so let's check it out. I mean, look at all this stuff that's just coming down here. Let loose like this little mini avalanche here in the gully. You can see all these rocks coming down. Thankfully, we got off to the left-hand side to get out of the way, but there's a lot of stuff flowing down here. Oh man, this descent has been pretty gnarly, just slipping and sliding the entire way down, coming down from the ridge way up there, coming down this alternative route on Izta. Definitely not easy to keep your balance even with trekking poles, even feeling like usually I can keep my balance pretty well. This has been a challenge. Nice to be down, right?
Nice to be down.
A little bit easier down here than up there in the gully, for sure. Siempre seguro con Lalo, pero más o menos, eh?
Más o menos. You never
Más
know.
o menos. Allá arriba no tanto, pero.
No, yo.
All right, Lalo, how was that last gully?
Very
A
hard.
little more challenging than we thought, right? I mean, coming straight down from there, it doesn't look very easy from this side, and it wasn't. Had a mini avalanche in the gully there with all the rocks coming down on us, and had to kind of sprint over to the left, and someone got a little scared here for sure. Heard some whimpers out of you. Making our way down here, so 360, gotta make the loop all the way around. So it looks like we're gonna go up and over quite a few of these ravines to come all the way back to the car. Probably twice as long to get back, but at least we're not doing it out and back. And boom. All right, we are just about back to the refugio where we started here. Going in the altitude here and coming up and down on some pretty exposed stuff. On definitely one of the harder routes, according to Eduardo, right?
Yeah.
One of the harder routes here on Izta. Memorable day, great company, a lot higher altitude than I'm used to, so felt it a little bit, but wonderful day.
Long
About what you
day.
expected?
Harder.
Harder? A little harder?
Yeah, harder.
How many times have you climbed Izta before, you said?
Like 100 times all the routes
100
together.
times on all the different routes. So today was one of the harder routes, probably?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely one of the harder ones.
Arista de la Luz.
Okay.
That's the one we climbed.
Yep.
How you feel?
Good. Feel very good. Once I got over a little bit of altitude, on the way up, then it felt very good.
And then you start feeling better.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Go check out the refugio here where we started and finished. Let's go see what's inside. Pretty cool in here. Definitely got room for several people to sleep, and it smells like chorizo. People we saw earlier today. Yep, here we go. Some leftover chorizo. Smells good in here. La basura no vuelve sola. Trash doesn't come back on its own. Good to remember. Pack out your trash. Ooh, speaking of carne and chorizo, looks like we got some here. Reglamento para el uso de refugio. All the rules we need to know for using el refugio. Of course, gotta have a nice bag of tortillas. So looks like it's ready for more people to stay here and use it. Ready to get in the Jeep here and get some food. I think we're gonna go get some tacos on the way back. We have a long way down, that's for sure. Fun to be up above 17,000 feet right behind me here. Wow, what an impressive looking peak. After our adventure up Iztaccíhuatl, I was back in Puebla for 5 days of teaching and training. Then it was time for the following weekend's adventure to tackle the biggest peak in Mexico, the third highest peak in all of North America, PICO de Orizaba. Trying on gear here at Eduardo's house, getting ready for our expedition up to Orizaba.
¿Tú tienes eso de agua nada más o tienes más? Yo tengo esto, un camino de 2 litros y 2 electrolitos. Perfecto, ya estamos.
¿Ya está?
Y de ahí en fuera la comida, ya está todo. Vamos a cenar tortas. Ahí tengo también para llevar arriba todo algo de chocolates y eso. Cactus enchilado, lo más importante. Nopales enchilados. No.
Dried prickly pear cactus here for the way up Orizaba. ¿Qué son?
Cabras.
Cabras y ovejas. Taking a little break here on the way up. It snowed yesterday and the day before, so you can see there is a ton of fresh snow up there on top, so it should be a interesting, probably a little more challenging adventure tomorrow. Wow. Tiene mucha nieve, eh? So after a very short night of camping out near the mountain refuge, we started hiking at 1 a.m. and made our way through the dark up to the summit. Finally, after hours of walking in the frigid cold, the sun started to come up as we got above 18,000 feet. My feet felt frozen and it was hard to breathe, but the sight of the sun coming up in the distance and of Eduardo and Eugenio waiting for me on the summit put a smile on my face. ¿Todo bien? Llegamos.
Muy bien.
Llegamos.
It's a pyramid. The shadow. It's classic.
Oh man. How long have you guys been up here?
Forever.
Forever?
I'm freezing.
Sorry.
I'm freezing.
Eugenio, ¿cómo te sientes?
Contento.
Bien.
Muy buena cumbre.
Contento de
Padrísima.
haber llegado 1 hora antes.
Increíble.
Qué rápido que son, ¿no? ¿Cuánto?
3:18.
3:18.
Personal best for
¿Has
me.
hecho menos o no?
Nunca.
¿Has hecho más rápido que alguien?
Nunca, ni creo hacer menos otro día.
3:18. Okay, just coming off the summit, 18,400 feet, I believe. This is about as high as I have ever been in my life, and definitely the highest mountain I've climbed because we didn't get to the summit of Cayambe in Ecuador. The sun came out, just perfect timing here as I was getting up to the summit. Glad to be able to catch up with them, and they waited up on the summit, thankfully, so we could share some time on the summit together. Felicidades. Muy bien. Llegamos. Warming up a little bit, starting to get some circulation going and feeling good again. This ridge is just gorgeous. I mean, look at the pyramid shadow there back behind us. Really spectacular.
Although I felt like I was really struggling on the way up, we did pass lots of other climbers, who we got to see as we made our way down from 18,400 feet off of the biggest mountain in all of Mexico.
Heading down here, you can see all the big teams coming up. Glad to be one of the first ones up on the summit. Sun is out. Finally starting to warm up. It was really cold. We were walking in the dark and the cold for what, 4.5 hours basically till we got to the summit. So nice to have the sun out. Feeling my fingers and my toes and my face again, and we are heading down a lot faster than we went up, that's for sure. Llegamos. Muy bien, muy bien. Bien hecho, gracias a ustedes. All right, Eduardo, how you feeling just getting down here from Pico de Orizaba?
Very good.
Good day?
Yeah.
One of your fastest times, right? Getting up?
Yeah, 3 hours, 18 minutes.
Yeah, and I was only about an hour behind, so.
Eugenio.
Eugenio and Eduardo, they are the only two people to pass me all day, so that's not too bad of a thing. And good day, yeah, good conditions, a lot of snow.
A lot of people.
What an amazing day to start out at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. That's when I got up. Hearing people get up, and then we started kind of getting up and moving around 1 because I couldn't really go back to sleep. They couldn't either. We were hearing people pretty much all night starting out. We were like the last ones to get on the trail. I mean, it was cold. It was really cold. Yeah, crampons and ice hacks pretty much the entire way up as it snowed a couple of days ago. Really dramatic seeing that first light come up once I was up about 17,500 feet, and the sunrise from the summit was absolutely amazing. It was really steep. Had to catch my breath with the elevation here for sure. Really an amazing day here with Eduardo and Eugenio, up to the highest peak I've ever been to in my life.
So there's the story of how in 1 week, with the help of Eduardo, Eugenio, and Puma, the best mountain climbing dog in all of Mexico, I climbed the 2 highest climbable mountains in the entire country. I hope this video can inspire you to get out of your comfort zone and take on a challenge, whether it be big or small. Because when we challenge ourselves, we learn more of how capable we really are. If you like my travel and outdoor videos, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and thank you for your support as I visit every country in the world.